right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel. And guys, if we got a review for you, but first say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man and Log and TV. And let's get started. This is a fun one. This comes from our buddy, Andrew Haubert. Andrew is a huge supporter of the KnivesFAST channel and has been for some time. And he sent me some really cool knives to check out. And this is one of them. This is the Arcane Design Abyss. Now, it's funny. The designer is Israel, and his he calls this a Bowie, and it is. It definitely has a Bowie design, but you can definitely see sort of a Tanto point down here as well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But let's start off by taking this guy out and looking at it. Now, Andrew uses his knives, so this one's got some scuffs, and which is absolutely good. This is, this is gray blasted handles, titanium, and then a black stonewash blade, and you can see you've got the two-tone there. You do have a slot, but let's come back here. It is chamfered off really, really nicely here. And you have a blue titanium accent around your pivot here. And then on this side, you have a black stonewashed titanium clip. Now, there is quite a bit sticking out here out of your pocket, which, no big deal for me, but just worth noting. This is a frame lock, by the way, but we'll get to that in a moment. Really well done. And just, well chamfered. You do have a lock bar insert here and lock relief. Good pocket clip, guys. Good tension on it. Good in and out of the pocket. Plenty of room here. Your screws are well done. Nothing sticking up, poking you. Nice flat screws on the pivot as well. Now, the blade, again, has this wicked looking Bowie style blade, but you've got a very definite two grinds going on there on the edge bevel. And you can see that, there you go. You can really see that Tanto point there, that secondary tip. So you do have a very defined tip out here and a really cool look to it. And you have some really interesting jimping we'll talk more about in just a moment. Now let's go ahead. We're going to do this a little bit early and talk about the specs here. And really just a beautiful, very cool design. This one is 3.5 inches long as far as the blade, 4.5 inches long on the handle. It is an overall 8-inch knife made with M390. And again, it's got that coated or black wash blade there. Blade thickness 0.16. So it is a little bit thicker of a blade stock, there, but you do have some swedging here to bring it down quite a bit there. And then you have compound grind on the blade, and the locking mechanism is a frame lock with a steel lock bar insert, cage bearings, pocket tip up, right carry only. There is no left option for your pocket clip, lefties. Sorry about that. And the weight is 4.8 ounces. So really, really cool in that regard. This one is made by Riot in China, but again, really cool. Now, this is currently available, guys. It looks like he's got a bunch of different variations on the arcanedesign.co website. And I will leave that link down in the description. These are $375. This one is called the two-tone blade gray blasted handle version. Now, this guy, with this blade, even with that fairly thick blade stock, is quite the slicer. I have used this to break down boxes. It just glides, guys. There is no effort happening here. It just glides through. Just look at that. And so really, really nicely. And you would expect that. I mean, it's cardboard. It's not, but it's going to be a workhorse. It's also going to be pretty good with that tip of getting down into packages or things like that, or whatever you want to use it for. And as you can see, like I said, Andrew has used his knives, so you know I don't feel too uptight about using it myself because he's used them as well. So very cool knife. Now let's talk about the ins and outs here a little bit. In the hand, it feels pretty good. You do feel that clip, but I wouldn't call it a hot spot. You definitely feel it. You got some roundedness to the handle, which helps sort of round my hand around the clip. Pretty good. No hot spots as far as the handle. You go in, you don't really have a choke up point. It is a 4-finger knife for me. This jimping is not for me. It is a little aggressive. It's not terrible, so it's not going to be a hot spot. It's just not my favorite kind of jimping. It's more a design thing, and I like that he made that top part of the blade black there. That's kind of cool. But, you know, just not for me. I just wish it either was no jimping or more gentle. And then this part is swedged, so that doesn't feel great either. So that's your landing spot, and that's what you got. Now, I cannot middle finger flick this knife. It has a great fuller. The detent on this guy is super tight. You can see there how it pops out, and that's because that detent is tuned so well, but I just can't. Andrew says he can, but it hurts. I can't. Maybe I'm putting lock bar pressure, but I doubt it. I'm kind of off the lock bar pretty much, and I cannot do it. The flipper tab is good for me. No problems. I mean, it just goes. No problem whatsoever. It drops pretty, you know, it's a shakedown kind of thing, but it does drop down to your thumb, and one shake gets it down. Now, or that was more like 2, but whatever. Dead centered on the blade there, and it's Riot, so nah, there's no blade play, no lock rock, no. Your lockup is around a 25 to 30, really well done. I like that lock bar insert and the way it lines up there. Really good in that regard. And again, the blade is nowhere close to, let's see, it's close, but it's not grabbing me. Let's see, can I get it? I can touch it. I can grab it, but it's not a normal, you're not going to be, I'm not feeling it poking me. I have to dig to get it. So it's good. And he's used every inch. And again, what did I say? It's a 4.5 inch handle, 4.5 inch overall handle and a 3.5 inch blade. And again, it cuts really well for having, now you could even use that secondary tip for getting down into things and cutting stuff out or whatever you need to do. So a really cool knife. Now, he's also got the Praetheon, I believe is how you pronounce it, out right now. And that one really attracts me because it's a drop point. It's the most, I don't want to say normal, but yeah, normal blade that he's had in his knives. And I really like that one. Again, a little over my price range, and I know some of you are really going to like this price range, and that's great. But Andrew is awesome for letting me check these knives out. I've got another of his, more of his coming up, but for this one, I got to call it a really good knife with a couple little, you know, things. And again, it's very angular. You've got a lot of angles going on down here, and but it feels really good in the hand. And again, that jimping is really my only complaint, and the fact that I can't middle finger flick it at all. I also can't thumb flick it. And I am putting lock bar pressure that time, but it flips out really well with the flipper tab. Man, I cannot get this is a thicker knife, so it didn't want to cooperate, but there we go. So again, the Arcane Abyss, let me know what you guys think of this one. Is this one, do his designs speak to you? And again, great Riot manufacturer, just a really cool knife. $375, they are available. Up to you if that's interesting. And again, maybe I can take a look at a Praetheon at some point. They look pretty daggone good to me because of that drop point. So there you go, guys. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And guys, check it out if you're not subscribed. And thank you so much for watching the Knives Fast channel.